Hi everyone, Rob Sobek here with Dawn's Appliances in Canonsburg. Today I'm joined with my good friend James Hayes.
Hi, Rob.
Thanks for coming, James.
Always.
Today we are going to be talking about luxury appliances that customers really love to talk about, really love the idea of having, and what we discuss about them before they make that purchase.
Sure, 100%. And there's a handful of the ones out there, but I think the most glaring one that ends is downdraft ventilation. So, and I understand if you're doing island cooking where it's you're not messing up your eye line and stuff in your kitchen, but at the end of the day, there's some drawbacks to it. The updraft ventilation or something where it ventilates up will perform infinitely better than trying to pull heat and steam down. But that's only one part of it.
It's almost as if science says that heat rises,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, downdraft, they probably could see that I just got the heebie-jeebies talking about it.
Yeah.
But the value, to your point, the value of a downdraft is being able to have island cooking or peninsula cooking or up against an interior wall and not having something hanging in front of your face.
Yes.
Breaking up that sight line. The only time you break the sight line is when the downdraft is articulated up and you're ventilating. The biggest problems I would say are even in new construction. Installation's really a bear. Running the ductwork to the right place, getting the proper blower. Customers need to have the right expectations of the noise level for a downdraft. But I think the big bugaboo is really retail replacement on downdrafts.
Yeah, if you are a customer that's ever been through it, it is a challenge. And then if you're not, just be prepared. When you go to replace your downdraft, you usually need to have a contractor come in and get involved with that because it's usually not a simple plug and play.
And if you remodeled in the 80s and early 90s and you bought the lucrative Gen Air grill with a downdraft, there is no direct replacement. And if you didn't know that already, I'm sorry to break your heart. But there is going to be a boatload of work to do when we need to replace that product in particular. It didn't work very well. Hindsight's always 20/20. But a grill inside, not the best idea. Combining with the worst way to ventilate something, also not the best idea.
Sure. So I guess takeaway, if updraft ventilation is a potential for you, we recommend it. But if downdraft is where you want to go, just be prepared. These may be some issues you may run into down the road. Another luxury piece that ice machines.
I felt it coming. I knew you were going to say it.
It's they are. A lot of maintenance involved into them, and even with that, you got to figure that is a piece that runs 24 hours a day. It doesn't store ice. The ice melts off, and it always makes fresh ice. So,
that's a positive. That is a selling point of it's always fresh ice. But the caveat is, since it's always fresh ice, it yields it all day. It melts it. It drains it out all day, and it reharvests. So that means that noise is happening all day. That means the machine is running all day. Water's running all day. Water's draining all day. So I'm not saying that it's a negative, but it's not a freezer.
No.
That's a lot of people assume ice equals freezer, and it is maybe in the 40s in an ice machine.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of maintenance involved in keeping it clean. If you're buying one, absolutely buy one with a filter. If you see one without a filtration system in it, don't even mess with it. So it'll just from a maintenance aspect, you're going to be doing a lot more cleaning in a filterless unit.
And speaking of maintenance, speaking of filters, this is the kind of appliance you need to buy, whether it's from Dawn's Appliances or not. This is where you need to get it from the professionals. This is where you need to go somewhere where they know what they're talking about. They have experience with certain brands, experience with filtration and not, pumps or not. Just as an FYI, we won't sell an ice machine without a pump.
Yeah.
They are available, but we will not sell them. There are dealers in the country that you have to sign a waiver to buy an ice machine.
Yes, because they are a higher service piece, because they run all the time. So estimated lifespan of an ice machine is significantly shorter than what most people would expect.
Especially for the price of them. An entry-level ice machine's in the high 2s, low 3s.
Yeah, 100%.
So that is not what we would consider inexpensive.
No.
For a luxury item, maybe. But having an ice machine, once you have one, you'll never be able to live without one. But you need to know the maintenance that goes into it. You need to know the kind of lifespan you're going to get out of it. And you need to know what kind of ice it's going to make, because that's a decision that you need to make. The shape of the cube, how often it drains, etc.
100%. And then coffee?
That's a tough one. And I think we are really in the golden era of coffee machines right now in the way of how they're being manufactured, what they're changing about them to try to make them better in the way of longevity. Because, I mean, they always made a great cup of coffee, but the problem was you had the service tech in your house more often than you were getting a cup of coffee.
Sure. But the reliability's up, and there's just some things that, I mean, you need to stop in and talk to someone that really knows them to understand like advantages of one versus the other. Do not put flavored coffee in your coffee machine. It will jam it up, and someone did that to our showroom model like maybe 2 years ago, and it took me an hour and a half to get it back up and running. It was tearing everything apart and deep cleaning. But regular maintenance on those are huge.
And when we say regular, you're talking a quick, simple drain and rinse.
Yeah.
You know what? Every other day, I'd say, and then a heavy maintenance on average every, I think, 150, 200 cups, something like that.
I think we're doing ours here in the showroom about twice a month right now with like a full D-scale, full
They're
clean.
salespeople. They drink a lot of coffee.
Yes, yeah. It's my last vice in life, Rob. But yeah, I mean, they're wonderful units. I mean, and you can do, like, you're putting in fresh coffee beans into them, and it's grinding it on the spot, and you can do espresso and coffee, lattes, cappuccinos, Americanos, and you name it. It has the ability to do it. But just know when you go into it, there's going to be some maintenance involved.
And some cost involved. It's similar to ice machines. Now, coffee machines, the entry level is in the low threes, mid threes at this point.
Yeah.
But the determining factors for a long time and still to this day was reservoir versus plumbed. You know, whether or not you have to refill a water container. And as we've moved forward, why I said we're in the golden age, we're in the age of Mila having 2 and 3 hopper dispensers for their coffee machines, being able to do 2 to 3 different kinds of beans on demand at once.
You got your light, your dark, and your decaf all loaded up, ready to go.
Decaf.
Yeah, well, some people. And then, too, they have the automatic cleaning system they implemented now where it'll descale and do other things. And then Thermador and Gaggenau have the plumbed units that drain, so you don't have to worry about draining. There's a little bit of, the installers may not be super happy with the installation process, but once it's in there, it's really convenient. So
yeah, but again, even if you take care of an appliance perfectly, there is no rhyme or reason to parts failing and things like that, because I'm sure you can relate. I have customers that take great care of their products and use it every day, and they have service more than I would even expect being in the industry.
Sure.
And then you have people who use it it's a vacation home, and they've used it 3 times and it's broken.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that beat the snot out of it and it never breaks.
Yeah.
It really, there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
The maintenance should help, but you never know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I tell a lot of people sometimes it's just luck. But yeah, I mean, if you want to know a little bit more about some of those pieces, obviously donsappliances.com. I know Rob and I have talked about them, some of them in the past, and some of the other videos. Check them out, or stop into a showroom. Obviously here I have a lot of coffee machines in Canonsburg, but all the showrooms have some on display, ice machines and downdraft ventilation as well. So thanks for watching.